Have you ever heard of Sheila LaBarre, the woman who claimed to be an avenging angel sent by God to punish pedophiles? She was convicted of killing two men, Kenneth County and Michael Deluge, on her farm in New Hampshire, but she may have had more victims. How did she lure these men into her web of torture and control? What made her snap and become a ruthless killer? And what was the truth behind her twisted delusions of divine justice? In this video, we will explore the complete story of Sheila LaBarre, from her traumatic childhood in Alabama, to her turbulent relationships with older men, to her brutal murders and bizarre trial. We will also examine the evidence that suggests she may have killed her common-law husband, Bill LaBarre, and other missing persons who cross her path. This is the story of a woman who used her charm, intelligence, and manipulation to commit unspeakable crimes, and who still believes she is innocent and sane. If you are interested in learning more about this fascinating and disturbing case, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get notified when we upload new videos. And don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with your friends. Now let's dive into the dark and twisted world of Sheila LaBarre. Sheila LaBarre was born as Sheila K. Bailey on July 4, 1958, in Fort Payne, Alabama. She had a sister, Lynn Nugent, who was 2 years older than her. Sheila's childhood was anything but happy and normal. She, her sister, and her mother were sexually, physically, and verbally abused by her alcoholic father, who also brought other men over to rape Sheila. Sheila's mother was too afraid and powerless to protect her daughters from the horrific abuse. Sheila learned to dissociate from the pain and trauma and developed a strong sense of self-reliance and survival. Sheila was also bullied at school for being poor and different. She was often teased for her clothes, her accent, and her appearance. She had a large gap between her front teeth, which earned her the nickname Bucky Beaver. Sheila hated school and often skipped classes. She also had trouble making friends and trusting people. She felt isolated and misunderstood by everyone around her. Despite her hardships, Sheila had some positive aspects in her life. She was intelligent and creative and enjoyed reading and writing. She also had a great sense of humor and a knack for storytelling. She dreamed of becoming a famous author or a journalist someday. She also loved animals and nature and found comfort and joy in caring for her pets and exploring the woods near her home. Sheila graduated from Fort Payne High School in 1976. She married Ronnie Jennings, a local boy, shortly after graduation. She'd hoped to escape her abusive family and start a new life with him. However, Ronnie turned out to be a violent and controlling husband who beat and cheated on Sheila. Sheila wanted to divorce him, but he refused to let her go for a long time. In the early 1980s, Sheila attempted suicide by overdosing on pills. She was admitted to a psychiatric facility where she claimed that an orderly tried to rape her. She was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder and post-traumatic stress disorder. She was given medication and therapy, but she did not follow through with the treatment. She escaped from the facility and moved to another town, where she met John Baxter, a wealthy businessman. She married him in 1981, but the marriage did not last long. Sheila accused John of being abusive and unfaithful, and divorced him in 1982. Sheila was restless and unhappy and wanted to find a better life for herself. She decided to leave Alabama and look for opportunities elsewhere. She placed an ad in a magazine, offering to be a companion or a housekeeper for anyone who could provide her with a comfortable living. She received many responses, but one of them caught her attention. It was from a 60-year-old chiropractor from New Hampshire named Wilfred LaBarre. He was looking for someone not too tall, who could share his life and his farm. Sheila was intrigued by his offer and decided to contact him. She sent him a letter and a photo of herself, posing topless in front of a mirror. Wilfred was smitten by her and invited her to move in with him. He sent her a check for a plane ticket, and Sheila accepted. She packed her bags and left Alabama for good. She did not know it then, but this was the beginning of a new and dark chapter in her life. Sheila LaBarre arrived in New Hampshire in 1987 and moved in with Wilfred Bill LaBarre, a 60-year-old chiropractor who owned a farm in Epping. She claimed to be his common-law wife and took his last name. She also took over his finances and his property and isolated him from his family and friends. She was abusive and controlling towards him and often accused him of cheating on her. She also had affairs with other men and even married a Jamaican citizen named Wayne Ennis in 1995 while still living with Bill. Bill died in 2000 at the age of 74 of a heart attack. Sheila inherited his farm and his estate and said that he left everything to her in his will. His children from a previous marriage tried to contest the will, but were unsuccessful. Sheila also denied any involvement in his death, although some people suspected that she may have killed him. After Bill's death, Sheila continued to live on the farm and started to look for younger men to be her companions. She placed personal ads in newspapers and magazines and also used phone dating services and online chat rooms. She portrayed herself as a wealthy and attractive woman who was looking for love and adventure. She also lied about her age, her background, and her intentions. She lured many men to her farm, where she would torture and manipulate them. She would make them confess to being pedophiles and record their confessions. She would also beat them, burn them, drug them, and starve them. She would threaten them with guns, knives, and axes, and force them to do her bidding. She would also monitor their phone calls, emails, and movements and prevent them from leaving or contacting anyone. She would often tell them that she was an angel sent by God to punish evil men. Some of the men who lived with Sheila managed to escape or were let go by her, but they were too scared or ashamed to report her to the authorities. They also feared that she would harm them or their families or expose their confessions to the public. Some of the men who stayed with Sheila disappeared without a trace and were never seen or heard from again. Two of these men were Kenneth County and Michael Deluge, who were both murdered by Sheila in 2005 and 2006, respectively. Sheila's reign of terror came to an end in April 2006 when the police searched her farm and found evidence of her crimes. They found human bones, blood, and personal belongings of her victims. They also found tapes, letters, and journals where Sheila detailed her twisted beliefs and actions. She was arrested and charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. She pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity and claimed that she was acting in self-defense and in God's will. However, the jury rejected her defense and found her guilty and sane. She was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole and is currently incarcerated at the New Hampshire State Prison for Women. Sheila's crimes might have gone unnoticed for much longer if it wasn't for a series of events that led the police to her farm. It all started on March 10, 2006, when Sheila picked up Kenneth County, a 24-year-old developmentally disabled man, from a homeless shelter in Manchester, New Hampshire. She had met him through a phone dating service and offered him a place to stay at her farm. Kenneth agreed and soon became Sheila's latest victim. She tortured and brainwashed him and made him confess to being a child molester. She also told him that she was an angel and that he had to die to be forgiven. On March 19, 2006, Kenneth's mother, Carol, received a phone call from Sheila, who pretended to be Kenneth's girlfriend. She told Carol that Kenneth was fine and that they were going on a vacation to Florida. Carol was suspicious and asked to speak to Kenneth. Sheila said that he was busy and hung up. Carol tried to call back, but the number was disconnected. She reported Kenneth as missing to the police and gave them Sheila's name and address. On March 21, 2006, 2 police officers visited Sheila's farm and asked to see Kenneth. Sheila said that he was not there and that he had left with another woman. She showed them a note that Kenneth had supposedly written, saying that he was sorry and that he loved her. The officers noticed that the note was written in a childish handwriting and that it had Sheila's fingerprints on it. They also saw bloodstains on the floor and walls and smelled the foul odor. They asked Sheila for permission to search the farm, but she refused. They left, but decided to keep an eye on her. On March 28, 2006, Sheila drove Kenneth's car to a nearby town and set it on fire. She'd hoped to destroy any evidence of her involvement and to make it look like Kenneth had run away. However, the police were already tracking her movements, and they quickly arrived at the scene. They arrested Sheila and took her to the police station for questioning. They also searched her farm and found the remains of Kenneth and Michael, as well as other clues that revealed her horrific deeds. That's how the police found out about Sheila's farm and uncovered the truth about her murders. It was a shocking and tragic discovery that exposed the evil and madness of a woman who thought she was doing God's work. Sheila LaBarre did not seem to be fazed by her arrest and acted as if she was above the law. She was defiant and arrogant and showed no remorse or empathy for her victims. She also maintained her delusions of being an angel and claimed that she was doing God's work. She said that she was not a murderer, but a savior, and that she had a divine mission to rid the world of pedophiles. Sheila also tried to manipulate and charm the police, the media, and the public. She gave interviews and wrote letters where she portrayed herself as a victim and a hero. She accused the police of planting evidence and lying about her. She also denied killing anyone and said that the men who stayed with her were alive and well. She said that they had left her farm voluntarily and that they were part of a conspiracy to frame her. She also said that she had proof of their innocence and that she would reveal it at the right time. Sheila also attempted to escape from custody several times. She tried to bribe a guard, to seduce a doctor, and to fake a suicide. She also tried to smuggle a razor blade into her cell and to cut her wrists. She said that she wanted to die and that she would be resurrected by God. She also said that she had a secret weapon and that she would use it to destroy her enemies. Sheila's bizarre and erratic behavior continued throughout her trial, where she pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. She often interrupted the proceedings and made outbursts and gestures. She also fired her lawyers and tried to represent herself. She cross-examined the witnesses and asked them irrelevant and nonsensical questions. She also presented her own evidence, which consisted of rambling and incoherent documents. She said that she had a special connection with God and that he would speak through her and prove her innocence. Sheila's reaction to her arrest and trial showed that she was a narcissistic and psychotic woman who refused to accept reality and responsibility. She was a master of deception and manipulation who tried to fool everyone with her lies and delusions. She was a cold-blooded and ruthless killer who had no regard for human life and dignity. Sheila LaBarre is one of the most notorious and fascinating female killers in American history. She was a woman who used her charm, intelligence, and manipulation to lure, torture, and murder men who she believed were pedophiles. She was also a woman who suffered from severe mental illness and who lived in a delusional world of her own. She was a woman who thought she was an angel and who claimed to have a divine mission to rid the world of evil. But the truth is, Sheila LaBarre was not an angel, but a monster. She was not a savior, but a destroyer. She was not a victim, but a perpetrator. She was not a hero, but a villain. She was a woman who committed unspeakable crimes and who still believes she is innocent and sane. This is the complete story of Sheila LaBarre, the woman who claimed to be an avenging angel sent by God to punish pedophiles. We hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new and interesting. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and leave a comment below. We would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on this case. And if you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get notified when we upload new videos. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.